What's up everyone, Danny Lightning back with another War Robots video. So today we're going to do a little guide on getting more damage. But first off, I want to remind you guys that damage is great, but please don't just taste, oh my god, there we go again. Don't just chase the damage. The number one most important thing is to win the game, and damage doesn't normally win games, guys. So the most important thing to remember is play whatever game mode you're on to win. Whatever the objective of that game mode is, that comes first and damage comes second. Now the very first key to getting a lot of damage is having the right weapons. The second thing is you have to go up against robots that have the hit points. If you're facing a bunch of squishy robots, you're never going to get those big damage hit points. So maxed out Mark III robots like Fenrir, Revenant, maxed out Titans, stuff like that's where the big hit points are, and you have to have the weapons that are going to do the damage to get the hit points from those robots. So that kind of stuff, guys, is very important. Now, if you don't have the right weapons or you're facing squishy robots, you're going to have a really hard time getting those hit points. Now, the up-close brawling weapons are the ones that you really want to go after if your thing is damage, right? Those will do huge amounts of damage quickly, but if you're running something that's like a 600-meter weapon and you're standing in the back and you're trying to shoot people from behind cover, you're going to have a really hard time getting that damage. Now, if you got something like this up there and you're up in the enemy's face, you can teleport in there. You're always right next to the enemies. You're always shooting them, right? That really helps get a lot of extra damage. It really does. You got to have the right weapons to get the huge damage. Now, for example, I bring in a Erebus with Prismas, right? That is a brutal setup that does giant amounts of damage, but you're way in the back somewhere. The enemies are all behind cover. You're going to spend more time trying to find somebody to hit than you are actually hitting people with the weapons, and therefore that may be a low damage setup, right? It's a high damage setup if you could constantly sit there and zap everybody, but the chances of being able to just sit there and zap them in the entire game with those 500 meter, 600 meter, 1200 meter weapons is very low. So running something like that's probably going to lower your damage unless you're crazy lucky. So bottom line is the robots you're fighting have to have the hit points, and you have to be constantly shooting those robots the entire time with high damage weapons that have quick, fast reload times. And that's really what there is to it. So fighting high level robots with high level weapons up close is what's going to get you the big damage. So bottom line, winning the game comes first, damage comes second. So don't get that confused, guys. Always play to win. Don't play to get big damage. That's just a big old bonus, right? Winning comes first, damage comes second. Squishy robots, you're not going to get the damage out of the squishy robots. I don't care who you are. Squishy robots don't give you the damage, guys. They just don't. Okay, now when I play against random players, it's very hard to get that damage because you don't know if you're going to be up against some low level dude or some maxed out Legends League player. Now, when I go over to the time drops at like Exile or Twisted Metal or one of those big clans that have a bunch of big high end maxed out players, man, you see those 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 million damage battles constantly over there. Okay, we hit those big numbers when we got the big players together. But like I said, playing against randoms, you got some squishy Joe Schmo over here that has level 2 robots with level 3 weapons on it, and you're taking out his lower level robots and you're wondering, why did I only get 2 million damage? I'm maxed out. Well, the robots you fought did not have the hit points, so therefore there was no hit points to get. So you can't always be upset when you have a low damage game because you know how matchmaking is, right? When you've got an amazing team of guys up against another amazing team of guys, everybody's maxed out, everybody's hitting hard, everybody's got huge hit points. That's where you get the big damage games, guys. Oh, real quick, one last thing I forgot to mention. We better add this in there. Healing. All right, robots with high hit points like a Revenant. It's a crazy tank, very hard to kill. Healing turns into damage on the battle screen, right? When the battle ends, it shows you your healing in the form of damage. So all the healing you do turns into damage, guys. So if you're running a tank with crazy high hit points and you're healing it over and over and over and over, that also adds to the huge damage scores that these guys are getting. So yeah, lots of tanks, lots of damage dealers with close-up brawling weapons, and fighting guys who have the hit points are pretty much the key to the huge damage. So that's how those guys are hitting those 5, 10, 15, 17 million games, is the hit points have to be there and your team has to be good. If your team's not good, you're going to get stomped. You're going to get walked all over, and there's no damage from your team being walked all over. Your team's got to be the good thing. Those 10-minute battles against the maxed out players, that's where the big damage is, guys. So that's my guide. Hopefully it helps. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Maybe even share this with your friends, or if you don't want to miss any good uploads or giveaways or anything like that, make sure you click that little bell and set those notifications to all. That way when I upload something new, you guys get it. All right? Thanks for watching. You guys are amazing. Lightning out. Have an awesome day.